Welcome back to the channel. I'm Riley. I've been a little MIA for a while because I needed to take a social media hiatus because everyone be crazy. So I needed some time to reflect. And while I was reflecting, I was thinking about social media and why it's so common for everything to be so copy paste. Like not just with trends. I mean, trends can be really funny, but copy paste in the sense of like the aesthetic, the look, the personality. And I thought to myself, why is it so hard today for everyone to have their own identity and be their own person? There are a lot of different things that go into this phenomenon, but there are three main things that contribute to it, which is intense social pressure, constant social media comparison, and fear of judgment or rejection. Obviously, social pressure happens when you get swept up in what somebody else wants to do instead of what you want to do. And that can be something that's really hard to break through. But I honestly think the easiest way to break through that is to get out of your head and into your actions. And by that, what I mean is everybody knows the feeling of like doing something just because like your cool bad friend is doing it or something like that. And then you afterwards, you're like, oh, well, that sucked. And I feel like I need to sleep for 2 months and then wake up and be in a completely different country. That's what I mean by action. A lot of times when you start doing things and you check yourself how you feel afterwards, that's usually a good arrow pointing to what is actually authentic to you and what you're maybe not so interested and should probably be involved in. That goes into social media as well because there's a lot of, not just politics, but opinions and all that other stuff around on social media that like if you're just scrolling, it gets like really in your face and you can start to feel insane. So the pressure can come from there too, but also for social media comparison, the comparison game comes in a lot because you'll see people living these like lavish, luxurious lifestyles, and that's just not anything you see on social media of like trips or like the perfect life, the perfect relationship, I don't even know, none of it's perfect. Probably a lot of it is fake and people pretending to be perfect, but I will say that it is very, very cool when you follow like an influencer or whatever who will be like breaking your social media perception, and it shows like this is what it looks like, but this is what it looks like to film it, because I think that's a great way to be like, this is not reality. This is something that you are presenting. It's a show essentially. But getting off social media every once in a while, there's nothing wrong with social media, but there is something wrong if you're just like constantly scrolling. It can make you feel insane. There's statistics that show stress levels shoot through the roof the more you're just scrolling on social media. And I did a experiment recently where I did like 2 days my normal or like a social media routine where I would just like scroll for, a couple hours a day or whatever. And then I had 2 days where it was cut off, like no social media, no contact. And let me tell you, my stress levels with no social media depleted. I felt so nice. Because the thing about social media is there's way too much information. And as people, our brains, our hearts cannot compute that much input. So the output just feels like, okay, well, I guess tomorrow I'm going to check into this island because I'm feeling crazy right now. And that's, obviously a sign to put it down. But just the social media comparison game of you can't compare something to yourself that you're not looking at. So not to say delete all social media. I mean, I'm literally talking to you through a social media platform. Awkward. But just having breaks to reconnect with nature. Go hug some trees, touch some grass, breathe in some fresh air, Oh, the last thing I wanted to say about that, this goes hand in hand with societal pressure and social media comparison. I don't know. This is like a human thing, which I don't really get, where like everybody wants everybody to be the same, and like there's this cool thing that's happening, so everybody needs to get on it, or like this, like whatever. It is really cool how different humans are. Like, it is honestly so cool that like some person can solve some like crazy mathematical equation that gets you to space, and that somebody else writes books their whole life. Like, that is so interesting. And people are so different and so diverse. And I don't understand the fab of like, let's make everyone the same person. Like, that's so boring. Imagine living in a world where everyone's the same. No, thank you. That sounds terrible. So anyways, anytime you're like comparing, or like you're like, I don't know if I particularly want this life, but it looks really cool. No. Anything that makes you different is cool. Cool is different to each person, and most of the time coolness on the internet is made up. So yeah, anyways, be different. It's way more interesting. I would so much rather everyone, including myself, be interesting instead of boring and drive Lamborghinis. I mean, maybe that's just me, but just saying. The last one, which is the fear of rejection and judgment, I think is the biggest hurdle to get over, because fear can be really crippling. But honestly, the only way to get through that is just to barrel through it. I know you've seen on, Instagram or TikTok, or I don't even know, whatever. People will do the like, I'm trying to get rejected 1,000 times, which actually is great exposure therapy all the way, 100%, works every time. I used to be super scared of getting rejected, and then I started acting, and rejection is like a Tuesday around here, okay? And let me tell you something, when it just becomes a Tuesday, it doesn't even matter, it doesn't even faze you. You don't think anything. Like that heart dropping like into your gut, like feeling, it goes, it leaves, it flies off to somewhere else. I don't know where, but I don't really care where. So, and a lot of times you'll see with those same videos where people will be like, I try to embarrass myself by like going up to random people and asking to be their friend or sit with them, or like go to a coffee shop and be like, hey, can I make this coffee? A lot of times it actually ends up being not a rejection. Like, a lot of times it actually works out in their favor, which I would not consider myself a social butterfly. I would not consider myself shy either, but I'm not really the type of person that's going to go up and be like, I don't know you, but let's be besties. But I do think that is a really good thing to try, even if you're just like, okay, just for these 3 weekends, I'm going to go to these different places and like see what happens. Because one, it's great exposure therapy. It makes you more comfortable, which gives you less anxiety. And two, honestly, you never know what can happen. It's always the random side quest events that end up being the most fun things you will experience. So why am I babbling about all this? Well, everybody has talents. Yes, you can have a talent that's similar to someone else, but everybody has talents that are unique to them. Like, even two people who are good at drawing or whatever, yeah, they might be good, but one person's gonna have a different style, one person's gonna have a different pace. Like, it doesn't, even if you have the same talent as someone else, it's still not the same, because it is unique to you as a person. And once you implement those talents in a way that are true to your values, your ambition, your determination, you will finally start to become your authentic self. And honestly, I don't know how to perfectly explain it other than this, but you as a person always know when you do something and it feels like you, or if it doesn't feel like you. Like, that's individual. It's unique to each person, but you know that as a person. And the more you do stuff where it implements your talents, and you know after you do it that you don't feel like a crazy different person, your soul leaving your body when you're doing it, you know it feels like you. And the more you do that, the less you care about everything else. Because here's the thing, everyone who watches this video or gets to the point of this video, with all the information on the internet and social media and like all that stuff, and everything feels like it's crazy all the time, you can really only choose how you act and react to things. I mean, there's so much out of our control, so much feels crazy all the time, but it's a disservice to yourself to give yourself over to all the craziness and just become complete chaos. Like, things can be chaos, but that does not mean you have to be part of the chaos. And you feel so much more genuine and peaceful when you finally say, okay, I'm going to step back from this, step away from this, go in a different direction, because it's not healthy and it's not right for me. Like, just because other people be doing crazy shenanigans and doing things that they hate and make them miserable does not mean that you should. In fact, you shouldn't. You should walk away from that. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments or concerns, or I don't even know, leave them in the comments. And until next time.